Hi everyone, my name is Jason Choy, Senior Portfolio Manager at InvestNow, and welcome to InvestNow's Meet the Manager series, where we look to provide investors with a bit more insight into the investment philosophy and approach of the specialist fund managers that we have on the platform. I'm joined by Klee, General Manager of Investment Management and Services at AMP Wealth Management New Zealand, one of the 30 plus specialist investment managers that we have on the InvestNow platform. Aaron's here to provide us with a bit of overview on AMP. Aaron, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Aaron, AMP is a name that many Kiwis would already be familiar with, and I'm not going to ask you to give us the full history of the AMP business in New Zealand, because we'd probably be here for quite a long time, right? You guys have been operating in New Zealand for well over 160 years now. So instead, maybe could you just give us a quick overview around some of the, the brief history and pedigree that AMP has when it comes to managing investments for Kiwis?
Thank you. Well, as you say, AMP's been a brand and a name that's been in New Zealand for somewhere between 170 and 180 years, so an extremely long time. So, but nowadays, very much a specialist wealth management investment manager. We do have general insurance as part of our business as well, but very much around retirement, helping Kiwis, meet their retirement aspirations and achieve their retirement dreams. So, Kiwi saver, savings, investments, investment portfolios is our specialty today.
Excellent stuff. And when you've been operating in the financial services industry as long as AMP has, change is really the only constant, right? So businesses must constantly be, continuing to change and evolve in order to survive. And a big kind of initiative from AMP's side in recent years has been your partnership with BlackRock, which you guys started in 2021 to help support your investment management business. Aaron, could you tell us a bit more about this partnership with BlackRock?
Yeah, well, in 2021, as you mentioned, we made quite a substantial change to our investment philosophy and how we wanted to approach managing money for our customers. And I think you also mentioned, thinking about the long term and thinking about, we want to be helping our New Zealand customers with their savings and investments, well into the future and well into their retirement. So the partnership with BlackRock was really about how can we bring the biggest and the best investment capability to New Zealand, and the partnership allows us to leverage BlackRock's expertise and resources to provide our customers with a wide range of investment solutions. So, the way I see it is that no New Zealand-based manager has the breadth and depth of investment management resources anywhere near the level that BlackRock does, and so it's bringing that massive amount of expertise to New Zealand investors in a way that's customised for us. So it is important to know that BlackRock, they just provide us some key investment services. They provide that to AMP New Zealand, and we are the investment manager and have control of all of our investments in our portfolios. But BlackRock provides us some key support and some very specific services to help us with the management of those funds.
Right. So like you said, having someone like BlackRock in your corner, which is the biggest investment management business in the world, and all the scale and expertise that they have across the industry is certainly something that Kiwi investors would benefit from. But as you've kind of clarified as well, it's really important to really understand what BlackRock's role here, and that they're simply here to support the AMP business. But then the actual vision and investment philosophy is set by yourself and the AMP business, right? So Aaron, could you maybe walk us through what is AMP's overarching philosophy and approach when it comes to investing Kiwis hard-earned money?
Yeah, absolutely. So our approach to investing is based on a long-term perspective, as I mentioned, with a really strong focus on creating sustainable value for our customers. We believe in those core tenets around diversification and risk management and a disciplined investment process. We believe that investing sustainably will deliver long-term returns that are as good as or better than markets. And we approach that and approach our sustainable investing based on 4 key pillars, where we're trying to support the good, trying to avoid the bad, we're reducing our carbon footprint, and being an advocate for change. So that's sort of the first part of it. The next part of our philosophy is that we believe that strategic asset allocations, or how you blend different markets and different investment types, drives the majority of returns available. So we review that annually, but we're looking out for medium to long term assumptions around expected returns in markets, expected risk, to build those diversified portfolios and make sure that they're appropriately positioned for the outlook and over a 5-year time frame. And that we think that's going to produce better net outcomes than actively tilting and trying to pick markets based on shorter term views. The next point is we believe that index management delivers value, and so we'll access returns using mainly index strategies, as we believe it's difficult to consistently outperform the market via the adoption of short-term active positions on companies or securities. And importantly, it helps keep investment costs down, which is an important component of returns. And the final point on our philosophy key point on our philosophy is that we believe in keeping things simple and transparent. So we'll only invest in assets and markets which are transparent, easily understood, and accessible via reputable markets, as this will keep our offer simple and help our customers with understanding how we invest, which we think is really important.
Right. So it sounds like AMP is really underpinned by fundamental and kind of core investment approaches. It sounds really good, keeping things simple. It makes a lot of sense for Kiwis, and also obviously sustainability is a hot topic these days. Let's just hone in a little bit on that, because I know sustainability isn't something that you guys just tack on in passing. It's really at the heart of everything that you guys do here at AMP, right? So you've also got the accolades to prove it. Not only is AMP classified as a responsible investment leader from the Responsible Investment Association of Australasia, or RIA. So I think you have a whopping 23 of the AMP funds that have, the highest classification, being the Sustainable Plus, including the 2 AMP Balance and AMP Growth Managed funds we have on the platform. Aaron, could you maybe tell us a bit more about what this certification means and why it's important for customers to really consider sustainability?
Yeah, sure. Well, as we said, we're committed to sustainable, responsible investing. There's so many badges and labels around this in the market, with most providers have a view on this, and so we articulate it very clearly in terms of what sustainable investing means for us through our sustainable investment philosophy. It's published all over our website through our disclosures, etc., and really clearly articulates again those 4 pillars I mentioned earlier and what that means for us. And the reason why we've gone down the route of the RIA certifications is that they're probably a globally recognized independent authority around certifying and reviewing investment management and savings products for sustainability and responsible attributes. And so for us, that demonstrates our commitment to incorporating, whether it's environmental, social, governance factors, into our investment process, and really proves that we're doing it. I think with 23 funds certified, I think that's the second most number of funds across Australia and New Zealand. Something we're really proud of. And as you touched on, we recently went through the recertification process. They essentially brought out some new standards and raised the bar on the certification process, and we obtained the highest certification or classification from there, being Sustainable Plus, for all those funds, including the funds on InvestNow. The responsible investment leader for the last 2 years. So all these accolades are things that we're particularly proud of, but importantly, it demonstrates that we do what we say we're going to do, which is the main reason. When you invest into a fund or KiwiSaver, most options in the market will talk about sustainability or ethical or responsible in some particular way. But it's really important from a consumer and from a customer perspective that what you're reading on the tin is matched by the ingredients within the tin. So that's why we go through that certification process, and it's a really robust and time-consuming process. But it's really to prove that we do what we say we're going to do, and that's validated by an independent body like RIA.
Yeah, and it's really important because I know greenwashing is quite a hot and controversial topic these days. Like you said, a lot of managers tend to, have their own view on sustainability or, kind of ESG investing, but then not everyone walks the talk, and there has been a lot of regulatory action both here in Australia for some of these managers. So it's great to see that you have that independent third party to really verify those claims. And kind of touching on sustainability is obviously at the key pillar for what you guys do. But how does that translate to then the performance? Are investors potentially giving up potential gains to almost have that green tick to them, or is performance of let's talk the diversified funds, so the balance and growth funds, been pretty strong?
Well, our performance has been really good recently and over the last few years, and particularly since we made that change in 2021, implementing that philosophy. Now, there are periods there where the areas that you don't invest into or invest more into from a sustainability perspective can work against you. But over the long run, we believe that investing sustainably is going to drive a better return outcome. And I often describe this as we want to own more of what the world wants in the future and less of what it doesn't want, because that's going to sort of drive the supply and demand, pricing power available in markets. So since 2021, our performance has been very good. We have been through a period of very supportive markets, but importantly, we've captured those opportunities and continued to invest in accordance with our philosophy, as I talked about earlier. So that's held us in good stead relative to our peers in the industry, and relative to other funds in the industry with the same risk profile. So I think it has proven that, or has shown that you can invest sustainably without sacrificing returns. But it's also because other parts of the philosophy, like getting the asset allocations right for the two funds on InvestNow, getting those asset allocation rights for the diversified funds, the index investing approach, keeping those costs down, they've been the sort of real drivers of the returns. So I think all in all, it shows that you can invest sustainably without sacrificing returns if you get the whole package of the philosophy right.
Yeah, and sounds like AMP has done a great job in providing investment that tick many of the right boxes, but you guys aren't just resting on your laurels just yet, right? So AMP is always constantly looking to improve your offerings. Aaron, could you maybe provide some insight into what other initiatives investors can expect to see from AMP in the future?
Sure. In the near future, our customers can expect to see continued focus on sustainable investing, and we're now working through the implementation of our annual strategic asset allocation review. So we've updated our disclosures to cover that, and we're sort of in the process of doing all the portfolio implementation to move to that. And so there's a number of changes in that. Probably bringing back some of the global equity assets that have done very well, and having a bit more invested into New Zealand, getting a sort of broadening the diversification across the portfolios a bit more, bringing in some additional diversification into fixed income. But we're also exploring opportunities to allocate to private investments, which again, provides additional diversification. Importantly, investments into opportunities that support the progression of climate solutions. And that's an area of particular focus for us, renewable energy. And the infrastructure that is required to support the transition to a low carbon economy. So there's some really exciting opportunities coming out of that. We plan to invest a considerable amount in New Zealand companies, as well as global opportunities, but we're particularly focused on how can we invest capital into private New Zealand companies that are involved with climate infrastructure and the associated infrastructure that's required to support the New Zealand drive to get from sort of circa 83% renewable energy today up to 100% of our energy and power in New Zealand to be from renewable sources, and everything that supports that. So that's something that's very imminent for us. We've been talking about it for a little while. And probably the other thing that we're working on and implementing now is introducing an allocation to global listed infrastructure into our portfolios. Again, trying to do this in a sustainable way, but we hear regularly through the media, etc., around the demand for capital for infrastructure, whether it's New Zealand or globally, to support probably New Zealand's economy, a sort of a quite a period of time of underinvestment in infrastructure, and we just see that as a great investment opportunity, and so the diversified funds will be picking up an allocation to get exposure to that in the coming weeks.
Great. Aaron, really appreciate all the insights you've been able to provide on AMP and the amazing work that you guys have been able to do in really trying to invest, in New Zealanders' money for good. If you guys want to check out and learn more about AMP, please just check out the AMP landing page on InvestNow, where you can learn all about their investment philosophy and invest into the AMP Balance and AMP Growth Managed Fund. Aaron, thanks for your time once again.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.